In relationship, there will always be conflict and arguments. Even if you're the best of friends, that does not mean that there won't be times where there will be conflict and where there will be disagreements or arguments. But it is not actually what you are arguing about that really matters. It is how you put down the argument that really matters. How you make the other person feel during the time of the conflict or during the time of the argument is what really matters. According to Dr. John Gottman, into his deep study of human psychology and relationship, he discovered that he could actually predict marital divorce rates just by watching couples talk for 15 minutes. And also, he discovered that the difference between the masters and the disasters in any relationship is based on four communication styles, which he actually called the four horsemen. So in today's video, we'll be addressing the four toxic habits that can actually kill your relationship. They are actually deadly behaviors which we put up that kills relationship instantly. So that is what we'll be talking about today in today's video. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Flourish and Thrive with TA, where we talk about healing from trauma, building your self-confidence, and all relationship issues. My name is Elizabeth Akini, and I am a certified relationship and trauma therapist. I've got a lot to talk about today, so I want you to pick your pen and I want you to pick your book because there's a lot you'll be learning today, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. So when we're talking about the four horsemen, I don't mean the four horsemen in the Bible, death, famine, and every other four horsemen that might exist that has to do with the apocalypse. I am talking about the four horsemen in relationship according to Dr. Gottman's theory. Their behaviors we put up that actually kills our relationship. Some of them we even overlook. Some of them we even do them innocently, but if we keep doing them consistently, they are deadly things that kills every relationship. So I'm going to be mentioning the four of them, and I'm going to be taking them one after the other. The first is criticism. Yes, criticism. And the second is defensiveness. So criticism and defensiveness, they go hand in hand together. And the third one is contempt. This one is the worst. This is the most poisonous, the most deadly of all the behaviors, of all the toxic behaviors that kills a relationship. If you want to kill a relationship so fast, be in a relationship with somebody who has contempt, and you will just see the relationship, they keep skyrocketing down. And the last of all of them is actually stonewalling. And the one that kills relationships so fast is actually the contempt one. So let me start taking them one step at a time. Defensiveness, criticism, contempt, and stonewalling. So what exactly do we mean by criticism, and how does it kill the relationship? When you criticize somebody, you are actually attacking that person's personality and that person's character. That is what you're doing when you actually criticize them. It makes the other person to feel down. They actually feel less about themselves. And most of the time, such people will actually become defensive. So I say criticism and defensiveness, they actually go hand in hand together. So supposing a situation whereby that person, you don't really understand them, and instead of you to try to understand them, why they do what they do, you begin to come up with theories and judgments about that person which might not actually be true. You start criticizing them for what they do, not understanding the reason why they are doing what they are doing. And in such a situation, the other person might actually become defensive. If the other person does not become defensive, the other person might feel overwhelmed, and that is when the other person will actually start stonewalling you. So one of the things you can actually do, if you want to actually communicate better with people that will not actually look like criticism, instead of actually using the you statement, when an argument wants to come up, if you keep using the you statement, it actually makes the person feel defensive. So instead of you trying to say the person did this, you did that, try to rephrase your question by using the I statement. So when you use the I statement, you're actually trying to explain how you felt by that person's action, by the decisions they are taking, and how it affects you. So instead of saying you're always fond of laughing or whatever it is that the person might be doing, you actually like say, I feel irritated when you laugh all the time. It is different because now you are using I. You are using I to actually explain how you feel, not actually blaming or judging or criticizing that person for always being joyful or for always laughing all the time. So you actually convey your own pain, your own feelings to that person by using the I statement. So the second killer of relationships is defensiveness. Yes, defensiveness. And I'm not trying to be biased here, but I found that it's my own assumption, not everybody's assumption, but that is what I feel. You might agree with me, you might disagree with me. But what I'm actually trying to say, some people will raise their eyebrow now, is that I found out that most men are quite defensive when their wives tell them things they don't want to hear, or when they behave in a bad way or come up with one horrible behavior. At the end of the day, the wife accusing them, they become defensive, trying to defend their action rather than taking responsibility. If you're in this category, raise up your hand. I know some of you will not raise up your hand because some of you are like, what the hell are you talking? But am I lying? So let us continue. So what is defensiveness? Defensiveness is a way whereby you try to shift the blame of what you have actually done wrong on the other person by making the other person take responsibility for the actions you actually committed. So you are trying to say now, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Let's put, for instance, this is the common one. A man cheats on his wife. The man will say, it is not my fault. It is because of the fact that she was not doing this in the house. She was not doing that in the house. That is the reason why I decided to go and look outside. But that is not an excuse for you behaving that way. So most defensive people won't want to admit they are wrong. Most defensive people won't want to take responsibility. So instead of taking responsibility, they will always want to prove they are right. Yeah, I know some people who will always say they are right. They will always look for one thing to use and defend themselves. If you tell them that they are wrong, no. They will tell you, I am right. So the next habit or the next Horsemen that kills relationship is the most poisonous and the most deadliest. And that is contempt. You know why contempt is so poisonous and so deadly? Because it kills you gradually. It kills you gradually. It's not something that happens instantly. So for somebody who criticizes you, you can actually bear it for some time. But contempt is silent. Contempt is not loud. It's very silent. So it kills you bit by bit. So when you mean contempt is when somebody tries to inflate their ego or try to feel they are better, they are superior than you. They talk to you in a way that makes you feel less about yourself. So such people, they inflate their superiority. They inflate everything, all that they have over you to make you look like as if you are not good enough. So, and they bring up certain behaviors like names calling. They call you names. They mock you. They do eye rolling. They are so sarcastic. The way they talk to you, they make you feel like as if you are worth nothing. I find them so obnoxious. So imagine if cannot stay in a place with someone who actually makes me feel less about myself or talks sarcastically or makes me believe that they are better than me, that nothing good can come out of me, that always actually flaunting my weaknesses in front of me or reminding me of my weaknesses or my past mistakes. Do you think I want to stay around such a person? In fact, I feel so disgusted when I think of people like this. You can be contemptuous towards yourself, you can be contemptuous towards your friends, towards your family, towards your husband, and you find out that they just withdraw. Yeah, because when you treat them like as if they do not matter, you rub their past mistakes on their face, you bring out their weaknesses, always reminding them of all the things they did wrong, always complaining about things that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago. It kills the other person. Yeah, it kills them. It reminds them. It brings them down. So it is one of the things that kills a relationship so far. So sometimes if they don't want to react, they actually become silent. They just become silent. They can't say anything anymore. So it is something I would always emphasize on. Want to kill a relationship so fast? Try contempt. Want to end a relationship? Try contempt, and you find out that the relationship will come crashing down. It kills relationship. The impact it has on relationship is not just only for today. It has a long-lasting impact because the person you brought down with the words of your mouth, you spoke harshly to somebody, you spoke sarcastically towards somebody, you made somebody feel like as if, oh, what can you do? You are nothing. You brought them down completely. You brought them down to their knees that they suffer from low self-esteem, low self-worth. Do you think that scar is just going to get erased just by you telling them, I'm sorry? I'm sorry, it's not enough. I'm sorry, it's not enough. So that's why we say it is better to avoid contempt in relationship. So because the effect is a long-standing effect on the person you have actually acted in a contemptuous way towards. It has a scar. It's not going to only leave a wound. It's going to leave a long-lasting scar. So now, let me go to the last one, and that is stonewalling. That's the last horseman. Stonewalling is when somebody becomes so overwhelmed that they now decide to shut down. They decide to be quiet. So such people, you might be in the same house with them, they will even talk to you. Yes, narcissists know how to use this to shut you down. Toxic people know how to do this to shut you down. They use this as a tool, as a weapon to actually control you. Because they know that if they can actually withdraw to themselves and not talk to you for a day, few hours, a day or 2 days, you're going to start becoming edgy. And you want to know what happened. Why are you not talking to me? What did I do wrong? Is it the little thing we talked about? Is it the little thing we discussed? Is that why you don't want to talk to me? It takes you off the edge. They take control from your end and you start running after them. So you start running after them, trying to make them see, oh, let's talk about this. And they keep moving away from you. So sometimes it might be actually because they're actually overwhelmed and they are trying to process everything that has happened during the argument. So they might actually shut down. And sometimes it might be a way to control you, to bring you down to where they can be able to have control over you again. And most times, it is toxic and abusive people, a narcissist, that will use this as a weapon to actually control your emotions or try to get hold of you. So these are the 4 things that actually kills a relationship so far: contempt, defensiveness, criticism, and stonewalling. And some of the things you can actually do to actually help yourself if you find yourself having any of these traits, because even the masters of relationship, those that have been in a relationship for a very long time, they still find themselves coming up with one or more of these behavioral patterns even in their life. But the good news is that they know how to repair the damage on time before it gets out of hand. That is just the good thing about them. So if you find yourself doing any of these things, these are things you can actually do. So I'm just going to be pinpointing one or two things you can actually do. For criticism, before you start criticizing people, try to understand them. Don't just jump to conclusion when you don't know the reason why people do what they do. That is number one. Number two, and when you now realize that what they are doing is getting on your toes, is getting on your knees, instead of you using the you statement and accusing them, use the I statement to actually convey how their actions is making you feel. So it is coming from a sphere of you expressing your own pain so that they will understand what you're actually going through and they will make changes. That is what you have to do. So when it comes to defensiveness, instead of actually shifting the blame to the other person, take responsibility for what you did wrong and make changes. Don't try to always say, I am right, I am right, I am right. Take responsibility. And if you're someone you actually filled with contempt and you're coming up with contemptuous behavior, not appreciating your partner for who they are, not appreciating people around you and everyone around you for who they are, making them feel less about themselves and always bringing out the worst in them, pinpointing their weaknesses, pinpointing their everything about them, bringing up the past that they've actually buried and bringing it and hurting them. What you have to do is for you to actually, first of all, learn to be appreciative. And most times, people who do this are actually people who are carrying unhealed wounds, which they've not actually dealt with. So if you find yourself having a contemptuous behavior, I think it's high time you need to visit or take a visit to a therapist. You need to be true to yourself that there are some unhealed wounds which is actually making you come up with these behaviors and actually go for healing, because that is one of the ways to release yourself from that pain that is actually making you hurt other people. Like one of my mentors will say, wounded people will always wound others. Yes, if you're wounded, you will always wound others in one way or the other, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you will always wound others. So actually go for healing and at the same time learn to appreciate yourself and learn to appreciate people for who they are. See the best in them and always appreciate them. And the last thing which you can actually do for stonewalling is when you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're actually the one that is actually putting up the stonewalling behavior, always keeping quiet, when an argument comes up between you and your partner, you don't talk to your partner throughout the whole day. 2 days you don't talk to your partner. It's wrong. You drive your partner to the edge. It's wrong. What you can actually do is, if you're feeling overwhelmed, that is not the time for you to talk, but take time to sit down and introspect. And if you're going to talk to them, you don't talk to them when the whole argument might be going on, but rather when the whole argument has actually calmed down, you can call them that same day. Don't keep it till the next day. That same day, man, make them understand that I'm trying to process everything that has happened so far. Please just give me a few minutes or few days for me to actually process this, because it is just too much for me. I can't digest everything now. And if you know your partner is the kind of a person that when you want to call them down and sit down and talk to them, maybe that is when they will flare up again and you might get into a fit or into a rage. Write down a note and place it for them where they can actually see. Just let them understand that you need to just cool off and digest everything going on. That once you've been able to digest everything going on, both of you can sit down together and talk like matured adults to solve that situation in a matured way, not by shouting or making a fuss out of it. Our conclusion that I've always said, the 4 horsemen, they are actually relationship killers. If you want to kill a relationship, very, very fast. Apply these 4 behaviors traits. So some of us might have one of these, some of us might have 2 of these. Like I said earlier, even the masters of relationships, they have one of these toxic behavior. It was learned and it can be unlearned when we decide to, when we become aware of it and when we decide that no more. It can be unlearned and we can actually be free from it. So now I'm going to give you guys one exercise to do. And the exercise is this. In all I have said so far, I want you to pick out one horseman that you recognize in your life. And when you now understand it, I don't want you to look at what your partner is doing. This is my partner's horseman. This is his own behavior. This is our own behavior. No. I want you to recognize your own horseman. And for the next 7 days, out of all the antidotes, the things I said you should do when you have any of those horsemen in your life, the things I asked you to do, you can try them for the next 7 days and see what is actually going to happen in your relationship. So that is what my own take out for you today. So guys, we've come to the end of today's video. I hope you got value for your time. I hope everything I have said so far resonated with you. If what I have said resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to share, like, and comment on this video. And also, if you're new to my channel, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get me updates when I make a new video every week. So till next week, when I'll bring you another episode on my channel or another video on my channel, I remain your host, Elizabeth Akineyi. Bye-bye.